So Jim, top of the league, 12 games in. What a cracking start it's been.
Absolutely fantastic, hasn't it? Playing some entertaining football. Goal difference, was it 26 or something? Plus 26, scoring goals every game. A lot of clean sheets. Good attitude, great bunch of lads. Really fantastic start to the season.
And Jake's doing a fine job, isn't he? He really has put together a good squad, a good mix of personalities and characters. They all gel in very well, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, Jake's been around some football. He's very experienced. He knows what he wants. You know, not character over ability necessarily, but character and ability is what we've got, rather than going for the perhaps the player with ability that's probably not the right character for our squad.
Yeah, and we're just talking fresh from beating Folkestone. I thought that was a statement win, Jim, I have to say, because there's a few things that we ticked off this season. We were struggling to win local derbies. We've obviously won some local derbies now. We were struggling to keep clean sheets. We've been keeping clean sheets. And going to Folkestone away and winning, that was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very intimidating environment, wasn't it? I think to go to Folkestone and win for a group of young players with an average age of 22, up against some quite senior, older players, was a really big win for the club and really stamps our mark on the league.
Now, there were jubilant scenes at the end, as you would understand, winning a game like that, and you've got over 1,000 Dover fans there. They were great scenes, weren't they? And you can't, begrudge players being able to celebrate with the fans after a match like that.
No, you can't, and I think the fact that there was a couple of other little incidents around the game. One of their fans ran onto the pitch and started assaulting our players, and a couple of other little things which really weren't very good. But they celebrated like mad when they beat us here at the beginning of the season, and they shouldn't begrudge us doing it when we go there and win. I think that's bad form.
Yeah, I mean, obviously these incidents are very isolated when these things happen. It's usually one or two absolute idiots that aren't welcome at either football club, quite frankly, or any football club. And I know, obviously, you had to put a statement out last week. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think what we're getting a bit of concern around some of our younger supporters, probably under 18s, who are using sort of bad language towards officials. We've had a complaint about that from the FA, and just generally not behaving in the way that we need them to behave within the ground. So really it's just a little reminder that we expect all of our young supporters to behave reasonably in the ground, and our stewards will be making sure that happens. We don't want to eject anybody, we don't want to take anybody's season ticket away, and we want people to enjoy the game and support the team. But what we don't want is people constantly abusing either officials or players or other supporters. That's not what we want at Dover.
Of course, the whole premise of this club now is a community club, and with that comes good behaviour, doesn't it? Because when you're in a community, you expect common decency and courtesy amongst everyone.
Yeah, in this day and age, I mean, unfortunately, you see it at all levels of football, and it's not always the youngsters, and sometimes it's learnt behaviour from older supporters. But we're encouraging young supporters with the cheap season tickets, the free entry. But part of that is we want them to behave in a way that we expect at the club, and we're trying to educate the younger supporters in what's expected. Now,
we've had a few decent crowds. Obviously, the Folkestone home game, there was 2,500 for that. Obviously, the Dartford match, there was over 1,000. And a very successful community day, our best gate for some years now. And then obviously, we took over 1,000 to Folkestone, albeit it's Folkestone, you get the revenue from that. But however, 1,000 went over there. Are you a little bit disappointed with some of the crowds though? For example, 750, I think it was roughly, against Potter's Bar, and we were top of league as well. And I appreciate, people are saving money and it's difficult, but it'd be great to get that crowd to 1,000, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. I mean, people have to remember that 750s, including all the free passes and the press, and so paying numbers is much less than that. And I think it's absolutely fantastic that we take, whatever it was, 1,200, 1,500 to places like Folkestone. But as you say, they get the revenue from that, and we get a much lower. That's double what we had at Potter's Bar in terms of our home crowd. And people hope will understand that if they want the club to progress and do well and move on, it's the numbers that we get through the gate that make the difference. if we were to get promoted, we'd be probably 200,000 short of what we need as a budget next year. And 400 or 500 people through the gate extra would solve that problem.
And you do actually value feedback, don't you? Just tell us, how fans can actually help. Obviously, come to the games, but you're all ears for ideas, aren't you?
Yeah, we're all ears for ideas. The beer on the terraces was picked up from the fans. The fact that we've got another outlet now was picked up from the fans. The reducing of the queues at the turnstiles, that was in response to suggestions that we had from supporters. Again, the way we're operating the bar now, which is a much slicker operation, that was in response to concerns. So yeah, whenever we can, we try and do what we can, but you can't please everybody all the time.
Obviously, always trying to come up with ideas to entice more supporters to matches and, of course, offer good value. And I understand that you're looking at bringing in a half-season ticket so you could buy a friend or a family member a nice gift for Christmas for the second half of the season. Yeah,
that's one of the plans we've got. It's a sort of response. We introduced the 5 match saver ticket in response again to suggestions from supporters, and this is just another idea that's been put to us. So I think what we're going to do this year is we're going to trial it and see how we go. So we're going to offer for a limited period in December a half-season ticket for the remaining matches at discounted price to see whether that's something people want to do for like a little Christmas gift for people. So we'll see how that goes.
Now, we're not quite getting those numbers over 1,000, but I do feel like there is a good vibe for the people that are coming. There seems to be a real bubbly atmosphere. I'm, just talking to fans, they're talking much more highly about the club. They're actually proud of watching Dover because they've got a team that are actually winning games, which of course is what it's all about.
Yeah, and we don't actually, we talked about, negativity that we've had on the social media. Actually, we don't have very much negativity now. There's not too many complaints about anything, and when there are, we try and respond to it. But yeah, there's a great feel around the place. People are enjoying it. In the end, it is about winning football games. You can have the best facilities in the world. If you're losing every week, people won't be happy. And that's what we've had to fight against the last couple of years. And that's changed this year. So hopefully people remain positive.
Now, we've spoken about this a couple of times before. It's still on the list, the 200 Club. Obviously not off the ground yet. We really do have to get this going. I mean, surely we can get 200 fans to sign up to this. It's a tenner a month, and there's an opportunity to win, £1,000 in prizes?
Every month, yeah.
Every month. So just tell us how we're getting on with that, and, are you confident we can get this off the ground?
At the moment, I've got to be honest, I'm not. I mean, we're still under 100, close to 100, but still under 100 applicants, if you like. And yeah, it's £1,000 prize every month, one prize. It's basically going to be £1,000 a month to the club, £1,000 a month to the winner, and we think that's a great idea. The odds are much better than the striker ever was, because the odds of winning that were enormous. But this is 200 to 1, so comparatively it's good. But I appreciate people who perhaps haven't got as much disposable income. There's also every day you're looking at a new lottery for something on the TV or wherever. So there's all sorts of options for people to spend their lottery money, and that is proving a challenge.
Just imagine you win £1,000. That's quite a few season tickets you can buy.
Well, absolutely, or donations you can make to the club. Yeah, exactly. No, but seriously, I think it's a good thing to do to support the club with a chance to win £1,000. It's
one of the areas that we've tried to improve is the pre-match hospitality, and that's been doing quite well this season, isn't it? It's been gradually getting bigger numbers. Just tell us how that's going.
Yeah, that's going pretty well. I mean, we've got a capacity up there of about 60, and we're most weeks now we're between 35 and 55, so we're doing pretty well up there. And midweek when we do the one course, that's usually pretty much selling out, but we haven't very many midweek games this season, so we've only had a couple, so we'll see how that goes.
In terms of sponsors and corporate, how's that going now?
Yeah, I mean, we've had no new ones since last time we spoke, but we've had the support that we've already spoken about, and we've done some publicity on before. No new sponsors have joined since then. That's a kind of happens every now and again, but mostly at the beginning of the season or the end of the season for the following season. but no new ones at the moment.
Now we know Mega's contract runs out at the end of the season. I suppose the hope is that they will extend. Have you had discussions with them at all?
Not formal discussions. I mean, they're very, very deeply engrossed in the community side of the club, and I understand that they want to continue with supporting the club and the community sense. I guess there'll be a conversation in early next year for the next period, whether that be 1, 2, 3 or 5 seasons. We'll probably have that conversation with Jeremy January, February time, I would think.
Okay. We've spoken previously about the 3G pitch, which would be a game changer for Dover Athletic if you can get that on that back pitch. Mm-hmm. Has there been any further development on that? Any thoughts on it?
No, I mean, I think the council have just gone silent on it, Dover District Council. We've found no way forward with them on it. Which is a real shame, because there are no facilities in Dover at all. There's one pitch allegedly being built up at the school, which will be the first one in Dover, but that's looking like it's going to be late next year if it happens. That still won't be anywhere near enough in the way of facilities, and you know, we don't know how we can move it forward. I think the only way we'll ever get that built is if we pay for it ourselves, which at the moment we can't do.
Yeah, what sort of figures are we talking, Jim?
I think the last quote was 650,000, but it's probably more than that now.
Okay. Now we've got a new MP, Mike Tapp, won the election recently. Has he been in contact? Has he reached out, or the club reached out to him?
I wouldn't know how to. I think he lives in Tunbridge Wells. I don't suppose he'll come to a Dover game. Not heard anything of him or about him.
Yeah, but we could do with people like that coming along and just seeing what this club's all about and meet people in the community.
Yeah, you see some clubs where the MP has a board, an advertising board for his surgeries and things like that, and attends games, but we don't seem to have that luxury in Dover.
So finally, Jim, really the message is quite clear, isn't it? If we can get over 1,000 fans, 1,100 even, that is a game changer. It
is a game changer. It'll make us ready to develop, ready to go forward for next season and keep our head above water this season. And, you know, if everybody that comes brought a friend or even 2 friends, it would achieve what we need. So I say to everybody out there, you know, if you want the club to move forward, do what you can to encourage people to come to the games, because in the end, people through the turnstiles makes the difference between success or not.